Hey guys, I'm a little bit late. I took off most of March for family and fun time, so I am a little bit late in getting February out, and I'll have March out soon afterwards. So let's go ahead and check out the results. As we all know, the site I built is highly seasonal, and due to this, it has been quite a slow plod through the off season. I've written posts and I've tried to organize content as best as possible to prepare for seasonality to hit. Technically, according to Google Trends and data, it doesn't really look like it's until towards the end of April, which would actually be month 24, before it's really supposed to get into the season itself. So it may be a slow mover into the end of this 24-month period, but I will continue doing these. They may become like every 3 months just because I want them to be interesting. And I feel like this month to month worked really well for the case study since their whole timeline is aligned by month. But after this, I think it'll just be like for the quarter itself to show the overall results. And that way it will be less time and effort to continually keep up with this outside of making content and building the site. So, as to February, we are month 22. Another 5 posts was all that was required from that public timeline. So, I'm at 185 posts, and it's just cruising along. I mean, things look like they're moving, but we've also had a lot of Google updates through basically the entirety of this off season. So, I'm really not sure I'll know until the season starts whether or not I've gauged anything correctly. As to profit and loss, I just wanted to present what was a full year from last year in February to this year in February. So last year in February, I made a total of $7.54, and this year it was $76.68. So it has grown a lot from the last February, so within 12 months. As you can see, the expenses have gone down. I've been writing all my own content itself to keep the overall P&L closer. I want to keep it close to even as possible. So I've just been writing. And as you can see, the running income overall from the site is around $2,500. So in 24 months, I mean, it's only $100 a month on average, but you can see when the peak season's hitting that middle, we have an $800, $300, we have some serious chunks within Amazon alone. I've added some stuff from ShareASale and AvantLink that should be ready for this peak season, but we'll have to wait and see. And then as to analytics, basically flat. It didn't go up, it didn't really go down. I'm okay with this. It's really, when you go look at the trends, it's a really sad bottom for these winter and into spring months. I don't expect it to explode. I did go look at trends on some other close topics to see if I just chose one with lower volume per month based on like keywords everywhere's data. And I probably did, but that's neither here nor there. I can't change that at this point. So I am interested because I saw some that could be aligned that have like a 200x more volume in traffic. So I may start trying to cover those as soon as I can. And I'm excited to see where that could go because that could help more moonshot traffic if it's even close, if it's close to the estimates that are provided. Again, any keyword volume is a little bit hard to judge. As to search, basically it's the same as what you would see on the previous slide, which is basically even. I mean, it's maybe 20 clicks difference between the month versus the previous month. So I've got a better click through. I'm moving up, I think, in general. It's just there's just no one searching for any of it right now. And then as I said, with updates and other things going through, I am moving up on most of the content. I did lose a few of the top three, and when I looked at them, it looked like forums and Quora and crap got moved up above everything again. So I don't really count those. Those will be back again. I am trying to think about what the plan will be after the 24 months and what I want to apply more effort into to see if I can scale up much faster. But the same problem will happen is it's going to be, the end of the season faster. So if I don't have a plan and some content almost pre-built and ready to apply, I'm gonna have to wait through until next season to see the impact. Amazon, nothing to write home about. I mean, I'm super happy with it. Nearly 24% conversion rate. Sales have been few and far between, and they tend to be on inexpensive items. I mean, the two things that are the big bars there are two big items. They're both from the niche, so it's not random one-off things. The other little things are, I mean, I'll take it. It's not what I'd want to write home about. I am hoping that if 24% could carry through to the summer, this number could escalate real fast, which would be exceedingly exciting. And then, as with anything, low traffic will tend to yield low results. I mean, I've got 4,000 visits and about $10 EPMV. It's most of the traffic in this off-peak season has been to two different posts because they're more evergreen and viable all season long or all year long. So those two posts though don't have any kind of real buyer intent to the content, and obviously the ads kind of showcase that fact itself. So I mean, while I wish it was more at this point, I'm okay with it. I'm just continuing to move forward and planning for what will be hopefully a decent summer, and then how to find some kind of shoulder topic that would cover winters to allow me to continue to grow on some kind of topic when these dramatic downtimes are occurring. I did the last 12 itself. You guys know I changed it on the last one just because the last 12 is probably more efficient for a site that has a 4 to 6 month window of being peak season. And if you were to sell, I mean, you're looking around 6,500 to 8,100, or on something like Motion Invest at 15%, it would be 5,500 to almost $7,000, which means I would make all my money back that I'm out right now and be positive overall in this whole thing. But I do feel if I push it through to next year that this number could be, 4 times this number, in which case it becomes super valuable. If I can hit it right, maybe even exponentially higher than that. It all really depends. The content limiting is really what slows this down, trying to find the right corner to approach. And so I've learned a lot within seasonal niches that I would apply if I was ever to do a seasonal niche again. I am trying to avoid them now because it's harder to gauge what's successful and not successful when you have to wait 6 months of the year to really gauge how well those are turning out. I'm going to go ahead and cut this one short, trying to keep it easy and to the point. I am in what is basically the end of this 24 months. I'm happy with what I've gotten. I hope it's showed people that if you make a realistic amount of content in a seasonal niche, you're going to have some additional problems. Like I can write content, but I can't gauge it until the season comes around to know whether or not it's going to be particularly valuable or going to provide good results for me, which makes it a little bit more challenging versus anything that's evergreen all year long, where anything you publish you can see the results of within XYZ amount of time and accurately gauge. But I do have some ideas where I want to go, and I'm excited to see where this can be. And if everything goes as I would expect, I would believe that within a year or two from here is when I would sell and walk away, because I think I have at least like 700 posts already written down as where I would like to go, but I have to start getting to work on those. And I was kind of limited by this 5 posts a month for the last year. It's a little bit slow when you only publish 60 posts in a year. It kind of drags down the gas pedal, and that's kind of what Project 24's timeline says, is that the 5 posts would be the minimum. I mean, what I've done here is basically the minimum of the timeline. Obviously, you could publish as much as you're willing to publish, or put money into to publish. Uh, I like a more stable approach because this is what everybody else, at home can do. This is what every normal person can do. Whereas otherwise, you're looking at, people who can go post 400 posts in month one, and it's not approachable. No normal person, no normal person on YouTube can do that. And if you like to watch those, I mean, I'm all happy for you, but it's a lie to yourself that that's what you could do unless you have a massive bankroll of money behind you to try and pull it off. So I think this way was more fun. I'll be interested to see what it can do from this point forward. Um, if you guys have comments or have ideas, I mean, I always love to see them in the comments. I try to reply each and every time, no matter what. I'm not like those other bigger YouTubers who have 10 million comments, so they just don't reply at all. I'm always replying all the time, so I like feedback, good or bad. I mean, I expect some people will be, you're way too low for this amount of time, but it's hard to tell when you can't gauge your posts. I have no clue what works and what doesn't work until the season comes. And once the season comes, I can only apply it to the next season because anything I post to add to that, I can link to try and speed track it, but it's a short time period. You're just going to lose based on time itself. So I hope to catch you guys later. I'm going to try and get the other video out within like a week. And that way I've got everything all the way up to this final month in place. I do appreciate everybody who takes time to watch and love any comments I see. I have been hard working on other sites and other things while doing this. I haven't made as many other videos, but I do anticipate that should change once this ends and I can stop focusing on paying attention to trying to micromanage the site and keep data up to date and all these little things that you want to keep track of. But I'll talk to you guys later.